Well, hi, a very good morning to you from Felixstowe Live down at the Viewpoint. I've just had a little stroll out, as earlier viewers would have noticed, down to the wooden jetty and came back and thought, well, do a little bit more. And might as well, because it is unusually windy today. The wind is said to be, according to the BBC, said to be getting up to about 50 or 55 miles an hour, which is essentially, it's in nautical terms, it's a Beaufort force 9 or 10, which means it is a real gale. We don't often get those around here. We get strong winds. We get 7s and 8s, I think, quite a lot, really. But force 10s and things, well, very rarely. It also is quite rare insofar as you get all kinds of effects with the winds. Like, for instance, you get strong winds are slowed down by the friction effect on the land and on the sea. Effectively, the wind rubs along those things and it slows it down. Let's have a closer look at this mighty vessel out here. Let's just take a second or two, if you don't mind. So, what do we got there? So it's the Atlantic Ocean. CSCL Atlantic Ocean sitting out there, and as you can see, the waves are quite high. It's quite rough out there, pretty rough. And I have problems really with the with the camera shaking, because although it's mounted firmly on the car, the trouble is that the car is also shaking in the wind. It's one of those things, isn't it, I guess? Not terribly nice, not terribly good. And if you're out on the water or at sea, it would be probably generally terrible. As you can see, the ship has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines from the bow to the shore. It's got a set, I don't know what you call them, a set of forward springs, really, running from back on the bow to a bollard aft of the bow bollard, and it's also got its normal springs on, so that it's very firmly restrained, very firmly glued to the quay, and it also has its outside anchor down. I don't know what they've done with that, whether they've dumped the anchor and just dumped a load of chain on top of it. I'm not at all sure, but no doubt someone down at the dock will be able to tell us. As you can also see, all the cranes are up. Operation Stack is obviously in operation. There are no, I can't see any of the landside cranes operating, either the stacking cranes. So it's too rough to deal with containers, or too windy to deal with containers. Anyway, time to update you. I'd like to update you on a few things that are happening. As of next week, planning to start doing quite a lot more live content, if you want it. Live content on Felixstowe Live will be both studio-based and online. We'll be using one of our computer systems to bring in online guests, but we'll also have some studio space available. So if you would like to be on Felixstowe Live and say what you think, I would just love to hear from you. No problem at all, just give us a shout. And if you want to hear what we've got to say, what's interesting things are happening, and we'll be asking some interesting questions as well. One question that came up a couple of days ago on the on that piece that we did, in fact it was yesterday, on that piece that we did about the new houses down Balfour Place down at the golf club. If you're not aware of that, have a look at it. We want to ask people really about why we have so many hugely expensive houses. I mean, the reason is obvious. It's because builders and developers make much more money out of really expensive houses. Whereas what's needed, can we answer this one? Is what's needed a lot more low-cost housing for Felixstowe? I believe it actually is, in a way, because what we've got is a kind of misbalance between the houses that are being built and the people that need houses. A lot of older people in my kind of generation do need low-cost, straightforward, simple housing, that suits our needs. A 4-bedroomed house, well, to be honest with you, I'd use 3 rooms of that total, I think. And that's really the kind of thing that I would like if I were, single-handed living on my own. So let's have a talk about some of the things that affect our world, because some of them tend to be a bit odd, don't they? If you like what we're doing on Felixstowe Live, give us a like or a love. If you've got anything you want to say, have a shout. I'd love to hear from you on Facebook or on YouTube. Have your comment. We've got another, I guess we're going to have another 4 or 5 minutes down here. And then I'm going home for a bacon sandwich, because as far as I'm concerned, bacon sandwiches are the thing. Okay, we're live to you right now from the Felixstowe Viewpoint. Thank you for that like. Somebody, who was that? I don't know whether I can read that on here. Joanne, oh, good to know you're out there, Joanne. So what do you think needs saying about Felixstowe, Joanne? I'd love to have your opinion. And also Tish. Hiya, Tish. How you doing? Now, I don't know whether that's Tish or whether that's someone called Steve, because it might be Steve Croydon as well. Don't know. People nick each other's Facebook, don't they? There you go. And a lovely gull just went hurtling past, and you do have to say that the gulls must have a great time. Any flying animal, if you like, bird, whatever, must really enjoy this kind of weather, because they can get out there and zip about. There you go. And Thomas, good morning to you. Hope you're well. Hope you're doing all right. Now, the thing that we have to be careful of here with Felixstowe Live is we do have to be cautious about this kind of... yes, it will be. I hope it is, actually, Jan. Yeah. We're hoping to do more. I mean, the other thing we're going to ask, I'm going to put up a little clip each day, I think, and ask what you want to talk about, because getting people's views, I think, and getting them out there is quite important, because the trouble is we don't know the people who govern us, in inverted commas, like town councillors, county councillors, district councillors, only know what they're told. They do their best to try and run the area as best they can, but they quite often don't know what real people, ordinary people like you and me, think. And to be honest with you, that's something I would like to put right. We'd like to get more honest opinions from people and more viewpoints from people on what they actually think. So, good morning to you, Anne Thomas. Hope you're well. It's a bit windy still. That's possibly one of the understatements of the year, really. It's exceedingly windy. But I have to tell you, it was invigorating just walking down to the wooden pier. I enjoyed that quite a lot, actually, although I nearly got blown off my feet. But having said that, it's good. It proves you're still alive, doesn't it? And I saw my very good friend, John Hart. We have to talk about John Hart. I'm giving him some kind of civic award. He has been doing this, cleaning this Langard beach for literally as long as I can remember. And I think he deserves, at very least, a pat on the back. And beyond that, I don't know. The freedom of Felixstowe's car parks, I think, would be a nice... I could do with one of those myself. But there you go. Okay, folks, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching this morning. If you've seen this piece and enjoyed it, I'm glad. If you've seen the bit earlier I did from the wooden jetty down looking out over Langard, or looking out towards Langard Point, then thanks for watching that. I enjoyed doing it, and at the end of the day, making sure I enjoy it and making sure you enjoy it is what Felixstowe Live is all about. All right, take care of yourselves. Have a nice day. Don't go out and get blown away, especially if you're a bit light in weight. You could get blown across the road. But on a more serious note, do be a little bit cautious when you're out, because winds like this do create damage. And I have seen, many years ago, I have to admit, once I was driving through, oh, good Lord, Luton, I think it was, and a banner, one of those, I guess you'd call it sort of a street sign street poster actually blew right across the road in front of me, and I guess it missed me by 50 yards, but if it had blown away a few seconds later, it would have got me. Morning to you, Tish. Yes, well, we're here. It's nice to hear from you, actually. I was feeling a bit lonely earlier, you know how it goes. Brian, yes, I saw. We put it up on Felixstowe Live's weather forecast, actually. It's going to be high wind until about 9ish, and then by midnight it should be getting down to around 20 knots, sort of around a third of what it is at the moment. And hopefully then we'll have the end of high winds for a while. Yes, it is, Anne. The great start to the day that I'm looking forward to is my bacon sandwich. Lovely to talk to you. You mind how you go today. Take care of yourselves, and don't overdo things in this horrible strong wind. I'm Chris. This is Felixstowe Live, and I'm planning to come back to you today with a bit more announcements about what we're doing. So I'll speak to you soon. Take care of yourselves. Okay, bye.